Hi everyone, welcome to our Friday Sews video for the 15th of September 2023. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Samantha, and we're a mother and daughter from Australia.
So it's accidentally been 3 weeks since the last one, but we do have a couple of finished things to show you and also a couple of plans. So my first finished object is something that I have had in progress for a little while, and this is the New Look 6210, which is this little sleeveless knit dress. So I made View D, which is the shorter version, and it's got the V-neck. So I made the smallest size in this pattern, which is a 10, and I'm really happy with the fit. I'm glad that it's not like too fitted. So this is my version here. So I used this gorgeous like botanical floral jersey that I got from Spotlight. So as you can see, it's not particularly long, but I mean, it's probably about knee length, which I like. And so this was my first time ever doing a jersey V-neck, and you sort of did this little like band around there, and I haven't got it quite right. I've got a little bit more of the band on one side than the other, so one side is sort of like looser against my body than the other, but for a first attempt I am quite happy with it. I love these little armbands, and funnily enough I made a bit of a mistake. I used the wrong seam allowance and I did it on the overlocker for the armband. So I ended up having to like cut down the like sort of the actual shoulder piece. I had to end up cutting a bit off that and then attach the armband. But I'm actually glad that I made that mistake because it's the perfect width for me now. It would have been too wide for my shoulders at the size that it was. So we'll put in a picture of me wearing this, but I'm really happy with it and it's going to be perfect for those hot summer days.
I finished my Miranda t-shirt from this pattern here. I made a short sleeve one with a round neck. So I used this cotton jersey knit, and I'm really happy with it. The interesting part about it is though, Caitlin had made me the navy one previously and we made it in exactly the same size, but because this fabric is not as stretchy, it doesn't have as much give as the other one, it's ended up just a little bit snug. It still fits fine, but it's just, yeah, a little bit snug. Because it was not quite as stretchy, it was quite easy to work with and it was quite an enjoyable sew. So the next time I'm going to try and make the V-neck, so I'll see how that one goes.
And are you going to size up seeing as you're using the same type of fabric?
I think I will, yes, because it was, yeah, just a tiny bit snug.
I mean, it still looks nice, but it might be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So the next thing that I've made, I really had no intention of making it, but I already had it cut out and I was looking through my project bags and I just thought, you know, like I really should make that, you know, and then I can move on to something else. So this is the Simplicity 8872. And the one that I have made is View C, which the model is actually wearing. So it's got the sort of like 3/4 length sleeves. So the fabric that I had was this sort of, it's a floral and it's sort of, I would say kind of like autumnal colours.
Yeah, definitely.
And I really wanted to do these sort of 3/4 sleeves. And I think that I thought that I had more fabric than I actually had. So I didn't have enough fabric to cut the bottom ruffle quite as long, so I've just shortened that a bit, but it hasn't really made any difference, and it meant that I could get the 3/4 sleeves. And I feel like these are actually the perfect puff sleeves for me, because I see everyone else in all these puff sleeves, and I just don't know whether they're quite me. But this one isn't gathered in the top, it's like just a set-in sleeve at the top, and then it flares out and just gathers into this little elastic cuff at the bottom, and I actually think that's perfect for me. So I decided to take a bit of a gamble with this one, and I decided to cut out the size 4, which usually in a dress that would be too small in the bodice for me. But I looked at the finished garment measurements and I didn't want it to be huge, so I thought that the 4 would be okay. And as I was making it, Mum was getting a bit nervous and I got a bit nervous that it wasn't going to fit, but in the end it has, and I'm glad that I did the 4. I think that the 6 would have just been a little bit too much, because like it's got this gathered skirt that starts sort of fairly high-waisted and that goes down, and then you've got like this gathered tier on the bottom. So I did put the little tie-in on this little v-neck, but it didn't really sit right on me. So I'm just going to wear it with like a little brooch closing up the top. Now this is like quite different to the style of dress that I usually wear, and I don't know whether I'm 100% sure about it. I like it, but I don't know. I think that I just need to get used to it. It's really just very different to what I usually make and wear.
It looks lovely.
Thank you. But I think that it looks nice with like a little belt around it. It just sort of makes it not quite so large. But I am really happy with it, and I enjoyed sewing it. Like, it was quite good to sort of learn how to do the gathers. I haven't done a lot of gathering before, but I enjoyed it, and I loved doing these sleeves. I just think they're so cool. So I think that I would make another one, but I wouldn't do the ruffle on the bottom. I would just extend the main skirt piece. I think that that would look really pretty.
For the last few weeks, we haven't done a lot of sewing, and we've done a lot of planning and sort of trying to work out what our style is and that sort of thing. So last time we mentioned that we were going to be making the sagebrush top, and this was the fabric here. So we haven't actually made it yet, but we do have it cut out, so we'll have it finished by the next episode.
So the next plan that we have is another top. So we're wanting to make the Bronte top, which is a pattern by Jennifer Lauren, Handmade. So it's designed to be quite fitted, and I'm going to make the 6 so that it is quite fitted. But you've sort of sized up on your, well, we've cut it out, so you've kind of sized up on yours so that it's not too fitted. So we're both actually making it out of the same fabric. We were going to make it out of different fabrics, but the fabric that I was going to use, I actually found out that I had more than enough to cut out 2 short sleeve versions for both of us. So we thought instead of like you cutting into your fabric as well, we would just cut into this one to make sure that we liked it and, you know, liked the fit and everything. Yeah. So the fabric is this one here.
Which is so pretty.
It is. So it's like a rayon spandex jersey, but I only had like 1.8 meters, and when you picked it up it was really heavy, so I wouldn't have probably wanted to make the long sleeve version. I don't know, it doesn't feel that heavy now, but it really did when it was in the big piece.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never had like a sort of like round jersey like that. Usually they're very, very soft and light, but it is a fabric that I really like. I have like a dress made out of it, and it is a lot more stretchy than the fabric that you used. But I mean, I like sewing with knits. I find it enjoyable. You know, you can just whip them up on the overlocker, and I'm really excited to make this.
I just mentioned before that we've been doing a lot of sort of planning and thinking about our wardrobe. We've been finding that we've made a few dresses now, or well, not necessarily just dresses, other things as well. And when you actually make them and you look at the pattern and then you try it on, and sometimes it's just not what you thought it was going to be. So we decided to go to Target and have a look at the different dresses and try a few different styles on and see whether we like them and, you know, what they look like on us. It was quite an eye-opener actually, because even though Caitlin and I'm usually about a size 10, she's probably a 4 to a 6. And looking at us, I would never have imagined that our body shape is similar, but it actually is. And the dresses that suited me also suited her, and the ones that looked terrible on me looked terrible on her as well. So that being said, the thing that we found that didn't look any good on either of us was the gathered dresses with the tiers and you know, different layers, I guess the word is I'm looking for. Looked just, terrible on both of us.
We tried a couple of different tiered ones on, and they just, I don't know, they were just like really like, I don't know, I feel like they sort of cut us up and made us like look really short, and they were quite like frumpy. I just didn't like them at all.
Yeah, frumpy is actually the word.
I really didn't like them.
Yeah. But, you know, we thought maybe gathered dresses were nice, but they're not. So what we actually decided after trying on all these dresses was that we liked something that was slightly more fitted at the bust and then sort of just falls away from there. So
and regular gathered dresses that don't have tiers, that are just one sort of length. And also we found that midi length was the most sort of nice length on both of us. It's sort of, yeah, I don't know, it just looks really nice, the midi.
It does. Yeah, something shorter just doesn't look as good as something with just a little bit of length in it. So it was a really useful process, and we've got a lot out of it, and we sort of now really know the direction that we want to head in. So we got our pattern box out and we just took out everything that just was not what we're looking for.
We were very ruthless.
We were, yes.
So we're going to put in a few pictures of like the pictures that we took while we were there. Like, they're not great pictures, but they will give you sort of like a general idea of what we found. So we found about 6 patterns that we think that we're going to make, and that are sort of similar to the style that we tried on. And there was one particular dress that I tried on. It was royal blue, and it had like a shirred bodice, and then it was like a midi length gathered skirt, and I just loved it. And since I've been home, I've looked at a few different shirred dress patterns, but I just can't find what I'm looking for. So if any of you know of any good shirred dress patterns that aren't like the sort of drafted yourself, like, I don't want to be doing that. I like having a pattern where I can just cut it out and make it. I don't really want to have to like measure the fabric. So yeah, I just can't quite find what I'm looking for.
The other interesting thing was Caitlin normally goes for quite neutral fabrics, and the dress she tried on was a royal blue, and it just looked amazing on her. And now she's decided that royal blue might be her colour. And I also tried on a pale blue dress, and it just looked awful on me. So I know now that pale blue is not for me. So it really is a great thing to do to give you more of an idea of what suits you and what doesn't.
Because it kind of stops you, like, you make stuff and you try it on and it's disappointing. You sort of get a bit disheartened about it, whereas just trying stuff on a shop, like, you can just put it back. Like, there's no time wasted. Well, you feel like it's time wasted. So I really thought that it was a great experience, and I would definitely do it again if I was, having trouble with, deciding what to sort of make. But so these are the patterns that we found that we think that are going to be quite good.
So this first one here is the Simplicity 9642, and this was a style that we both tried on, and we just felt really, really good in it. So it's actually got like a fitted around the bust there, and then, as I said, it just falls away, and the little frill on the bottom. So we're going to make this one here, which is the well, is it the mid or is it the longest?
I think that it's actually the longest.
Yeah, so the
longest frill on the bottom.
The longest one there. So we're going to try that one. The other one that I bought this pattern a while ago, and it's the Simplicity 9542. I absolutely love this this pattern. Sorry. But I've never got around to making it, and I'm pleased now that it is going to be something that is suitable, because it's just got a fitted bodice, and then sort of it falls down from the waist. So I think that one's going to be quite nice too. And then this is a dress that we got in a magazine, the Alexandra dress, and I just love this dress with the little collar and the little sleeves, and then just falls down from the bodice. So that one should be quite nice too. Another interesting thing when we were in the change room, and I think this dress actually does have it, this sleeve detail here, where the sleeve just had a little bit of elastic, probably about 2 inches up from the bottom, and then it just made it look a little frill, and I thought that was a really, really clever idea, and it looked really nice. The other thing too that I noticed when we were trying on the dresses on is how popular the puff sleeves are. Like, nearly every single dress that we tried on has puff sleeves, which I did find quite interesting. So yeah,
I feel like with puff sleeves you have to find the right puff sleeve though. Like, there's some huge ones which I don't really like, but I think that the small ones can be very, very pretty.
Well, true, that's the thing, is that we tried on dresses with different puff sleeves, and we also got a feel for that. And I
Yeah.
agree. I think the smaller ones are nicer.
And also, some of them like weren't that big, but they were quite sort of like long. And I don't feel like that was the nicest on either of us.
No, I wasn't keen on those either. Yeah. And your ones are?
So there's this one here, which is the Butterick 6757. And I liked this dress, but I was never 100% sure on it, but I actually think it's going to be really nice. So it's got like an elasticated neck and an elasticated waist. The one that I like is A here. And I think that it will be a really nice dress. I'm not quite sure what type of fabric I'd like to make it in yet, but yeah. And all of these patterns, we're both going to make them together, I think, because we both want to make all of them.
Well, we've now decided that our body shapes are the same, so
That's right.
yes.
So the next one is New Look 6262, and I've thought about making this many times before, as have you, but we've never got around to it. But I actually think that it's going to be perfect. I've always loved this one on the model here. It's sort of like a broderie anglaise version. I would love to make one like that, but I really like the version with the round neck and the little short sleeves.
Yeah, I like that one too.
And the last one is possibly my favourite. It's the Butterick 6850. So it's this really pretty like princess seamed flared dress. And the one that I like is the yellow one, the sleeveless one that's quite long. I mean, it is a bit of a fabric eater, but I'm really excited to make this. And it also seems to be like some sort of different fitting thing, which we've never done before, but it'll be good to try that out. So hopefully it will fit well.
Yeah, well, that actually was another thing, wasn't it? The princess seam dresses did look really nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also find princess seams much more pleasant, so I don't really love doing darts.
I do agree. Yeah.
So that's all of the sewing content that we have for you today, but we will be back soon with another Friday Sews where hopefully we'll have those 2 tops finished and we might have a new dress in our plans.
Until next time, happy sewing.